All right, so you're going to get a bonus unfiltered episode today because I didn't get a chance to react to the Iowa Caucus this past Tuesday, which not surprisingly Donald Trump won. I'll do it more long form next week. I got a podcast scheduled next week Tuesday with good friends with Duke Bennett and Rob Barnett. Well, we'll talk about that. Also, but I will say I did do a podcast actually on Rob's podcast last night. You can check it out now. Or was it Tuesday night? I did Tuesday night, sorry. On his show, Rob the Genius podcast. You can check it out on any podcast platform. Where we went into the Iowa Caucus in a little more long form, but he's going to come out on the Speaker podcast next week with Duke and have a little bit of a roundtable on that. And just other stuff we'll talk about. But this is all I just want to talk about. Because the Iowa Caucus results, not surprising. Trump wins, obviously in wide numbers. DeSantis comes in second. Nikki Haley third. Ramaswamy fourth. Ramaswamy, though, the news of coming out of that caucus is Ramaswamy is out of the race, officially suspended his campaign right after the results came in. Not a surprise. I really called that. I said he'll make it to Iowa, and after that, once the Iowa results comes in, I think it'll be a three-man race by the time we get to three-person race, since it is a woman in the race. I mean, respectful to Nikki Haley, that he will be out of the race. And I think what I want to talk about here real quick is Ramaswamy. Very polarizing individual, and within the GOP, certainly a lot of liberals don't like him. Seems kind of swarmy, but there is some appeal there. Not on my end. I'm just saying people in the political sphere, whether or not you are a Republican or you're kind of a moderate independent, that's looking for something fresh. Like, he endorsed Trump already. He was totally Trump guy during his campaign, which begged the question, if you were saying that Donald Trump's your guy, then why the fuck are you even running the race to begin with? That's just beyond me. But that's either here or there, whatever. But it dawned on me too also, because whether or not Donald Trump wins re-election in November, he can't run in 2028. If he loses to Joe Biden this November, I highly, highly doubt he's running for president again in 2028 for a fourth crack at it. So my question and my thoughts coming out of the caucus was, okay, so whether or not the MAGA thing is going to be here for a while. I think it's clear. I think we're clear to say that we're nearly 10 years, and Donald Trump's influence on the political process, specifically to the GOP, to the Republican Party, is more than obvious that it's here to stay for a long time. It's not just some blip on the radar. It's not just something that, will go away when Trump goes away. No, because Republicans had a chance to pivot off of Trump after 2020, okay? After January 6th. And the very fact that Donald Trump is still, forget the fact he's viable, he's still the face of your party, these odd years later, what's next? I think a guy like Ramaswamy, who's clearly more sharper than Donald Trump in terms of just the appeal, in terms of the look, he has the kind of the Obama feel to him in terms of the way he talks. He's very, precise, kind of like a Buttigieg kind of sort of thing too also, but with the MAGA politics. I think there's probably a future for him in the GOP. I mean, think about it. What is the layout? What is the lay of the land for the Republican Party in the next 4 years? People say, well, Ron DeSantis probably should have waited his turn. You're probably right about that. Ron DeSantis was the guy that folks that were trying to pivot up a Trump were hitching the wagon on that guy when he got reelected for governor in 2022 here in my state of Florida. And then you saw what happened there. He decided to run, and that fell apart. He's now polling pretty badly right now, even trailing Nikki Haley nationally now in the polling. Does he have a future? I don't know. I don't think so. I think that hurt his chances. Nikki Haley obviously could be someone in the future, assuming she doesn't win this primary, which I doubt she will, but you can't count it out since it's official. Who does Republicans have beyond that? Like, could you go more to Taylor Greene? Probably not. She's way too polarizing, even in her own district. I think Ramaswamy, because of the MAGA appeal, but also because of the fact that he's also sharp enough to kind of appeal to the moderates a little bit, because he has a supposedly a libertarian background. I do think Vivek Ramaswamy could have a future. Now, this is the question. Does the Trump name get stained by 28? Well, by 24, it depends. Again, it also depends, too, on where the political process is. Where are we politically between now and 2028? Because Donald Trump wins a re-election in November, and let's say he's, depending on how he runs the country, in those next 4 years, and how things play out, he can either, hurt the Republican name even more, than it is, and make it more polarizing than it is, and makes that ticket toxic in 28 for the Republicans. This is also why I think Democrats, in some ways, and this kind of sucks if you're a Democrat, and this is kind of fucked up, because the fact that, it's a pivot for them either way, because Joe Biden will not run again after this election, whether he wins or doesn't win. Democrats, I think Democrats see it this way: is that if Joe Biden wins, cool, we have 4 years of White House. If Joe Biden loses, cool, let Trump get in there, let him, in their words, fuck things up, and by 28, people are going to want to come vote Democrat, vote blue, because things are so bad. It kind of reminds me of how things played out for George Bush in 2008, where no matter who you had in that spot, in that GOP spot in 2008, because things were so bad, economically speaking, you had obviously Katrina, the Iraq War, and how that was handled in the later years. The GOP ticket was so toxic in 2008 that John McCain, who was as moderate as they come, they even tried to Hail Mary to bring in Sarah Palin. That should have been your clue back then, is that when they brought in Sarah Palin to be John McCain's running mate, that should have been your biggest clue that the Republicans are desperate. They knew they needed to do something totally out of the realm, bringing the female as a running mate. Now, that being said, I could see, because of age, that Ramaswamy could be the future of the GOP. I could see it. But also, I think it all depends, too, on how he navigates his endorsement of Trump, how the country is in the next 4 years. And there's a lot of things in play. There's a lot of moving parts on, and to be honest, there's a lot of moving parts on both parties, honestly. There's moving parts on the Democrat side as well, too, because there will be a pivot for Joe Biden, whether that's this year or in 4 years. So we shall see. But I think Ramaswamy, there's a case to be made that Ramaswamy could be the future of the Republican Party. I thought he did himself, in terms of that silo, pretty well. I thought, and look, I don't agree with him politically at all. I think he's fucking swarmy as shit, so it doesn't matter. My opinion doesn't matter though. But in terms of the optics, I thought he went on tough. He took tough questions. He went on not just conservative platforms. He went on a lot of liberal platforms too. Also took tough questions and took it like a champ. And I respect that. Even if I don't like the politics, I respect the fact that you're willing to take on and willing to have discussions with people you don't agree with on different platforms. And he's, in a lot of ways, was the first real candidate that really took on the podcasting, digital, not just mainstream media, but the digital media as well too, in a big way. The first presidential candidate I saw do this in the way he did in my lifetime. So, like I said, a little long-winded here a little bit on this, but I do think there's a case to be made for Ramaswamy to be the future of GOP. The same, and that's all. All right, that's your bonus for today. I'll see you guys over the weekend. Enjoy football. Bye.